I know that my outline says clarify is next, but I actually am going to jump ahead to defining your target customer and come back to clarify after we've talked about customers and competitors. I think that's a better place to have that conversation. So, who is your ideal client? And please don't tell me everybody. Nobody can sell to everyone. There are customers that are more likely to buy from you than others. And this has been true in branding work for half a century. Your goal is to figure out what customers are most likely to buy from you. Who are the people who really, really get you? And more importantly, who are the customers that you want to work with? And that's even harder, especially when you're starting out, which is why I think this course is really ideal for people who already have a brand. Before you go to AI and ask it, who are my customers? Who does my brand appeal to? I want you to do an exercise. I want you to think about all the clients that you've worked with and answer a simple question. If you could only work with three companies, which companies would they be? Now, why would you work with those companies? What is it about their business, the way they interact with you? What is it that makes them rise to the top of your list? Those are your ideal clients. Then I want you to take a look at the one client you would fire if you could afford to, and look at the difference. What is it about these clients that you love and the one that you want to get rid of? What makes them different? The other thing that you want to look at, and this is hard because sometimes the answer is sort of hiding in the numbers and you don't see it right away. Who are your most profitable clients? Now, not every client has to be equally profitable, but a lot of business owners make the mistake of thinking the client that's writing you the biggest check is the most profitable. But sometimes those elephants, those really big customers, suck the lifeblood out of you and your team. And the smaller clients who maybe don't pay as much, don't ask as much, and they're easier to work with. So take a really good, hard look at who you like working with, who you are successful bringing on as salespeople. You want to ask who loves your work, what makes them stick around. What is it that they would say about you? And it's okay to pick up the telephone or send them an email and ask them a question. Now you're ready to build a persona around your real customers. Go to ChatGPT and describe the companies that you like working with and why you like working with them, and ask them to help you build that persona. Ask them to describe, based on this feedback, who is the ideal client and what motivates them. And finally, once you do that, now you're ready to ask AI, based on this feedback, based on this profile of this target customer that we have created, who are my best customers, and can you build a persona around them that I can use as a starting point for my marketing? When I did this for my business, my persona is Marketing Melissa. She's a somewhat experienced marketing professional, but still fairly early in her career. And she wants to stay on top of latest trends and latest tricks and ideas. And she wants information in little bites and quick hits. And that really guided my messaging. And so once I had my persona, then I gave it back to ChatGPT and I said, okay, this is who I want to work with. This is what's important to them. How am I doing? How good is my content? How good is my copy? Am I resonating with those customers? Am I really connecting with the things that are important to them? Look for your gaps and your disconnects. This is going to become the foundation of some of your messaging updates. So, as you're thinking about your persona and you're working with I just want to remind you that a persona isn't women 40 to 55 who like yoga. That's lazy. A persona should feel like someone you might bump into Starbucks. Instead of talking to everyone, you're talking to that someone, a person with a name, a backstory, and a reason to care about what you offer. One of the conversations that I had recently on my podcast was about this idea of imaginary friends. And my guest suggested that a lot of personas, because they are vague and generic, are really imaginary friends. They don't exist in the real world. They don't fit, our real customers don't fit into those little blocks. And so by chasing that persona, we're missing the real market opportunities. So once you get your persona, the last step is really to look at your actual customers and do they line up? Are you going to get more customers that look like that and act like that and will buy from you if you create this persona and begin creating messaging for them?